Hi, Stella. Hi, Stella.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Sorry?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Thank you. So let's just kick off.
The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this? The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining tonight. So we're going to kick off our session tonight, and it's a very interesting session. So, good evening, Nairobi. Good evening, those listening and watching us from Dubai as well and the world. So, tonight we're answering a big question and how to take your business globally. That is, especially we are looking at the UAE market, and we're not just talking about visiting Dubai for a holiday. I know most of us know Dubai for from that angle, but you're talking about setting up systems that allow you to earn and also live in the United Arab Emirates. So to help us break down the Dubai market and the cheat code to setting up business and actually making sure it's successful. We are today joined by Stella Wamaitha, who is she's a consultant based in UAE. She's an expert in navigating the legalities, the licenses, and the growth strategies that Kenyan entrepreneurs need in order to kickstart their businesses abroad. So, if you're listening today or watching, be sure you're going to learn quite insightful nuggets from very practical knowledge and ways on how you can go about this. So, tonight we're dropping the fluff and you're going to talk about how the export gap and how you can actually fill it. Also, looking at the mainland versus the free zone, which one actually protects your money and how to go about it, and also the 30-day blueprint in how to get started with licenses if you're looking towards setting up a business in UAE. I know most of us, when you're thinking about UAE, you feel like it's such a difficult market to get into, but we're just going to be looking at how can you get started? So this is powered by Digitech Today. So Digitech Today, we empower young professionals and business owners on how to scale locally and internationally. And so that's definitely informs today's section. So without much ado, we're going to take a short time. Within 30 minutes, we should be done. And so if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the Q&A section and we'll be glad to tackle them. Our speaker today is well informed and well prepared to answer to all of our questions. So without much ado, allow me to introduce Stella to take us through. Hi, Stella.
Hi, how are you? How's
We're
everyone?
good. We're good. Good. In We are all good and happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
Nice. So you can take it up and then we will be able to, in case of any question, I'll be able to drop as they come in.
Sure, sure. Um, I do have a small presentation that I'm going to be sharing.
Okay.
Okay, it's loading. Okay, getting ready. Yeah, the times when systems don't work.
Yeah, it's okay, understand.
Okay, I don't know if you can see my screen. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Are you able to hear me? Am I visible? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, there was a bit of a glitch somewhere.
No problem.
Yes.
Is my screen being shared as well?
Yes, yes, we can see very clear.
Okay. Yeah, so welcome everybody. And today we're going to be talking about how you can benefit or enter into the UAE market and specifically Dubai. I know Dubai is very famous, but I know we look at it like Don said, we look at it as a vacation spot, but there's so much here that we can benefit from since it's like very accessible. I think it's one of the countries UAE at large, that getting in is the easiest. And also doing business here is also one of the easiest. And we're going to get into details from that. But let's start a bit of an introduction. My name is Stella Wamaitha Njoroge. I am Kenyan, based in here, UAE, Dubai, and I'm a business setup and a relocation consultant. I love to work with Africans so much. I mean, I do work with everyone else, but I'm so passionate about seeing Africans dominate this market because I feel like there's so much that it has to offer, and hence why I'm here even tonight. And going into it, I like to say that the whole world is in Dubai. And I know that's like a very interesting statement to make, but when you hear me out, you're going to understand why I would say such a thing. And this is because this is literally a global market in one location. It's a small country, but it's as mighty as ever. And reason being, for us who live here, we have over 200 nationalities who live here. And when I say people living here, unlike anywhere else in the world where you just go without a plan, everyone who lives here, it's either you have a job, a business, or you're an investor. Anything, or maybe you're a dependent, but anything in between, sometimes it feels a little bit expensive to be here. So, as a business person, this tells you that the people who are living in the UAE are capable people. And mostly that's what you want to know. Another thing is that this is the home to over 86,000 millionaires and counting. And also, we have like almost 24 billionaires living here from all over the world, and they've chosen this place as home. And that tells you something because these are mostly people who will really do their research. For someone to leave their country and come and call this country home, that tells you so much about it already. And something else that we all love, everyone from wherever, is the fact that we do not pay any personal income tax. So, what does this mean? That if I'm employed, whatever money is quoted for you is the money that lands in your bank account, no income tax whatsoever. If your money is 10,000 dirham, that will convert to like 350,000 Kenyan shillings. It means that's exactly the same amount of money that lands in your bank account. I mean, where else does that exist apart from very important for business people is the fact that the corporate tax here is at 9%. And even this 9%, you only pay when your business makes a profit of 15 million. Like in Kenyan shillings, when your business gets to a profit of 15, let's say 15.5 million Kenyan shillings, that's the only time you pay the 9% corporate tax. Before then, whatever income you make, you just use it to scale the business. And why would they do such a thing like this? It's because for them, they're so much growth oriented, and the system here is built in a way that they want to help you to grow. And I guess it's because they have the understanding that if I have my small business here and I'm able to scale it to 375,000 dirham without paying taxes, it means even after all the money that I'm making, the profits, I'm just going to use it to reinvest in Dubai. I'm going to buy property, I'm going to expand my business and create employment for the people here. And for them, that's a win. So they don't need to be coming after your taxes, your little money that you're trying to make from your small business. And I feel like that's at the top there. And something else is that this is one of the most connected cities globally. Well, it's called the Middle East, but then that means it's very strategically placed in the world because it's in the middle of the world. And with the UAE operating one of the best flights in the world, Emirates, you have direct flights flying from or to sound, oh, that's so nice. Actually stating facts. And there's a way you can benefit, this benefits you while still in Kenya or while you're still thinking of growth. Because I know every business person, when you're sitting down and your business is doing all right, you're thinking, what's the next market that I can conquer? And maybe the UAE could be your next market. Why? Because when you're in the UAE, you're literally in the world. When your business has a presence in the UAE, it means your business gets known by people from Australia, from London, from Hong Kong, from China. Why? Because they call this place home. So if you have a presence here, you have a presence globally. I don't know what other country gives you such an edge, but this country does. And with me talking about businesses so much, you might wonder, is this a new concept? Is it being done already, or is it something new? Well, I'll be happy to tell you that no, it's not a new concept. We have, especially Kenyans, Africa at large has invested so much in this country, but even Kenyans have caught up. And I'm going to name a few industries where you'll find Kenyans thriving. And one of them is import, export, logistics, cargo. And I'll give you an example. The UAE is a desert. I mean, that's a sad fact. But that's also a huge opportunity gap because it means all the food that we consume here, since we are a big population, 10 million and above now and counting, it means we need food, we need fresh food, we need groceries. Where does this food come from? The best place with the best food, I'm not going to be maybe biased, but I'll say Africa. And when you're shopping for groceries, mostly they will name where the food came from. They will tell you avocados came from Kenya. They will tell you oranges came from maybe Uganda, bananas came from. So this is an opportunity. So if you're a Kenyan who's a farmer, this is an opportunity for you. And something else is that the UAE and Kenya is only 5 hours apart. So that tells you this. If you're a Kenyan farmer or someone who would venture into this is already an opportunity for you. There's always going to be demand for foodstuffs because this country does not grow its own foodstuffs yet. I mean, they're working towards that, but while that has not been achieved, we have an opportunity here, and I really believe we should take it. Something else with the UAE being so close to Kenya is that this is where you find most spare parts, from car spare parts, maybe scrap metal, so many stuff. They come from the UAE going to Kenya. People will buy cars. People will come here buy like second-hand phones for their business, and so many other things going back to Kenya. And since once again it's 5 hours, that means you're able to save on time. Location is strategic, and once again an opportunity for you. And logistics and cargo falling under import and export once again. Something else, another business. Sorry, I have to check. I don't know how is my presentation now.
Hi, Stella.
Hi, am I audible now?
You come up again?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. So I talked a little bit about import and export. I don't know at what point maybe I was cut off, but I was saying there's so much opportunity because Kenya and the UAE is so very well strategically placed with like 5 hours flight difference. And since we have waters, the Indian Ocean, that connects also to the Middle East, that makes it a very good business to venture in. Another business that most Kenyans have really ventured into is tourism, hospitality, and recruitment. Um, Fortunately or unfortunately, we don't have visas on arrivals in like other countries. But then this has created a gap for so many Kenyans to establish themselves and set up those kinds of businesses. That makes it easy for Kenyans to get to acquire visas or work visas, or even set up businesses like what I do for fellow Kenyans and maybe other Africans to move around from Kenya to Dubai easily. Hospitality, you find that now most agencies here in Dubai are recruiting mostly from Kenya, which is once again an opportunity for Kenyan recruitment agencies to expand to this place. Because what you're finding is that because Kenyans are not in this business uh, properly, it means you find an Indian, not hate because they do a great job, but an Indian will have to fly to Kenya to look for staff to hire to bring back in Dubai. And I just think that opportunity should belong to a Kenyan. So it's a call for us to step up and take up this opportunity. And the best business that is doing so well, uh,
Probably, I think there is still a bit of a hitch. Maybe you can just log out and log in again.
okay, I think I will. Let
Yeah.
me log in again then.
The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement. The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging.
Am I more clear now?
Very clear, yes.
Oh, good.
I think there was an issue with the internet from your side, so you can just continue.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I just finished. Well, rather, I was talking about the third business that maybe most Kenyans have ventured into here in the UAE, and that is a lot of digital marketing, e-commerce, and more online businesses. And the best thing about this sort of business is that you don't even need to be located in the UAE for you to access like the markets here. And this is so good because as a Kenyan, your dream is to earn in a foreign currency because it's stronger. So this means when money is coming back to your account, it's coming in a good measure because you're earning either in dirham. Dirham is the currency in Dubai, or you're earning in dollars, or whichever your client prefers. Because, like I said, it's a global hub. So while you may be targeting Dubai, you might end up with a client from the UK or from Europe, which means you'll be earning in euros. And that's a dream come true because also the pricing of your services goes right up. Everything goes right up because they understand the value of what you're giving. And no matter how high you think you will charge them, they still find it way cheaper rather than what they will get charged if they got the service in their country or in Dubai. So another advantage once again. So with that in mind already, brings us to the next question. Like, so how can you as a Kenyan start to enter the market in the UAE? And I know there are three types of people. There's someone who's hearing this conversation for the very first time, and you're like, I like the sound of that. I would want to try, but I'm not just going to uproot my life in Kenya and go to Dubai. It's not ideal. Even I would not advise it. So how would you do that? There's also someone else who's like, my business is doing very well in Kenya already, and I really want to access the global market, but I don't want a case where I have to also uproot my life and go there. I want a balance where I still run in Kenya and I have a presence in the UAE because of the access to the global market. And the third category is someone else who's like ready full on. They're like, I want a physical presence in Dubai and I'm ready to go even live there and acquire residency and scale from there, while maybe what I have in Kenya is still growing, or abandon and go. I don't know. Business people have different thoughts altogether. That's why I categorized into three people. So we start with the first one. So this is that person who's like, I love this conversation. I want to grow. I want to start earning in a foreign currency and increase like my opportunities, like benefit from a global market and audience. So in this case, my advice to you would be like, audit your product or your service and start creating it in a way that is ready for a global audience. Because sometimes when we have location bias, you create a service or a product that only suits your surrounding location. But if you're going to serve global markets, you have to start asking yourself, what does the market want? What's out there? So that's more market research for you, but that's an opportunity as well. And the best way to go about this, once you have maybe upgraded your product or service to serve the global market, would be starting by ads. We now have things like Google ads. These are meta ads. This is such a good tool because it allows you to start advertising your product or service with the UAE as a targeted location. And from this, they're very effective. Everyone in the UAE, we have free internet in the UAE. So it means when you're running ads with Dubai as the target, it's getting received very well. And it's either you're going to start getting clients or you start getting feedback.
Hi Stella, you lost?
Test the market and see if you're ready to enter this market. And it's a very low risk entry point. It costs you very little, but it will give you massive feedback. So it's either you'll end up be having a presence here, or you get feedback from people on how to tailor your product for your next entry into the market. The second part, the second person is the person who already has a presence back in Kenya and is looking to have presence in the UAE. And once again, the UAE government is so thoughtful and it's always thinking globally. So they're not just trying to benefit from their own people or from their own residents. They're just trying to see how else can the country benefit and also benefit other people. So we have a program where a system where you can set up a company as an offshore company in the UAE. And they've set this up so well that they give you 100% foreign ownership. And I know how that sounds. You may feel like, okay, how would I know that it's true? Yeah, the rumors are true. You can actually have 100% foreign ownership of your offshore company in the UAE. With this company, you can set up a business account, a business bank account. And when I say a business bank account, it means you have access to the accounts, to the banks in the UAE and the world. One thing again about the banking system in the UAE is that it's global. Whatever bank you have, you find that it has, like for example, this one bank that is he's called HSBC. It's a bank from Hong Kong, but then they have presence here. So you having a business here in the UAE, you have an opportunity to have a bank account under HSBC, which is a bank from Hong Kong. And business people who are at some level will understand how important this is. Something else that you get is that you qualify to get credit here in the UAE. And the best thing about the credit here is that we have Sharia compliance. So you find that the interest levels are so low because it's a Sharia. Sharia, it's a Muslim system, so it's not really for profit so much. It's more of a system to help, and you get a chance to benefit from that. And I think it's something every business person wants as they're scaling. And something else is that you just having a business location in the UAE, it makes everything so easy for you. Things like invoicing, it changes how you're perceived. If you've successfully done like the phase one that we've talked about, you've tested ads and now you're getting clients from the UAE. It's one thing when you have to send them payment links from Kenya, and then it's another thing when your payment links are from UAE or Dubai. Just changes how people view your business and your value. So this is something for people who've tested the first phase and now they're ready to take up the next level. And I'm gonna go to the last phase. We have so many people who are just sure that I'm not done with Kenya, but I need to go find opportunity somewhere else. And these are people who are either leaving the corporate world and now they want to set up a business, but they feel like, let's say, for example, Kenya does not have the right systems for the kind of businesses that they want. And the people who I've worked with who do this are people mostly in AI. They feel like the systems for AI in Kenya are not yet there. They'll get there, but they're not there. So they are just ready to relocate and come and set up in the UAE. This is just one example. There's so many examples. So, what does this mean? This is definitely you're not testing out the system. Okay, maybe it's gonna work, maybe it's not gonna work, because the initial investment is also gonna be like higher. It means you're going to officially be a resident in the UAE, and maybe something I can talk about. Being a resident in the UAE is one of the easiest thing possible. When you're a business owner, automatically your license gives you a residency. It's not like a long-term residency, but it's something. It's something to start with. So yeah, having Dubai as your primary location, you're going to benefit from the systems that Dubai has in place. And on another session, we'll be able to talk about what I mean when I say systems, like business systems. You'll be able to see how extensive they have built their system to make sure that your business works and succeeds here.
When you say someone is able to relocate,
Yeah.
that means, and you said for like just short time. That's like for how long the license gives you someone who's a business owner, like what period maybe before they can renew?
It gives you 2 years. So you get a 2 year residency.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, so 2 year, and it's renewable, and mostly it's not about, you don't need to prove anything for you to renew your residency. It's mostly a guarantee. As long as you've not broken any law, you're guaranteed that you can renew your license. So who is this kind of offer for? This is for entrepreneurs who are ready to scale beyond Kenya. So either people with existing businesses, but they feel like I need to tap into whatever Dubai has. Maybe before going to London, Dubai is like a bridge. So this is for someone like that. This is for businesses that are already generating income in Kenya, and now they're like, we need a branch that's gonna place us in at a global standpoint. And this is for founders who, like I said, so many people are leaving the corporate world, especially people working with AI. That's who I've worked with personally. So they feel like starting in Kenya will make them be at a disadvantage because our systems back home are still developing. So they are ready to just go into the UAE and venture into that and start from the UAE as their primary location. So founders who want global exposure, stronger currency earnings, like I said, it changes everything when you're earning in euros, in dollars, and like I said also, labor, how you price, the pricing scheme that you have, no matter how many zeros you add to your pricing, it will still be considered cheaper to the client that you have on this other side. Because when they consider how much they'll have to pay for the same service in Dubai or from their country, for example, from Europe, they would rather just pay you whatever you're asking for. And the quality I can vouch for. And also, this is for founders who want access to international clients. Again, and maybe something that I did not add here is that the tax, Dubai, UAE is a tax haven. So it means your money is protected, and now you can focus more on scaling, using your money for scaling your business, rather than you making your profits and having to pay half to the government. No one's coming after your money, and I feel like that's a win already. Yeah, so relocating to Dubai, I'm not saying that that's the best thing, but having an open mind about having a presence in Dubai, UAE, it's it has so many benefits. So it's definitely something to consider. And I've shown you how you can start from a trial phase and escalate to having maybe an offshore branch in the UAE that's 100% under your own ownership. You don't need like a local Emirati to co-share the license. This is yours 100%. And if you're ready to have like a branch because your business is doing so well in Kenya, you can do that too. So it's definitely a location to consider. So many people are already doing that. I, for one, in the last, I guess, 8 months, I've worked with 20, maybe 23 Kenyans starting new businesses. Well, some are people who've been in UAE for some time. Other people are new people just leaving Kenya and coming to start over here. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say people need to leave Kenya and come and invest in Dubai. No, I'm just saying while in Kenya and as a business person or someone considering, growth looks different in this day and world. And with us living in a digital world, I think we can benefit from global markets as well. And UAE offers that platform, unlike other governments where you have to go through so much bureaucracy before getting to have a business presence in their countries or continents. UAE is definitely an option that's easy. And yeah, that's where I come from. So every day, all day, I work. I love to work with Africans, anyone else, but also Africans, because I really want us to dominate this market and bring the wings back home. And that's it. Thank you for listening. I'm gonna open the floor for questions. You shoot any question. I'm here.
Thank you, Stella, for that. I mean, let's see if you have some questions, and then we can move from there. So, is this why, maybe just, I don't know, a question or an addition? Is this why I hear a lot of offshore businesses? Like in Kenya, I hear a lot of these politicians doing offshore businesses in UAE. Is it because of the many parks, for instance, when you're talking about, like, you see the rate of the taxation is a bit very lower, and also the whatever is needed in terms of for you to qualify to set up business or to set up, it's they don't really put a lot of pressing qualifications. Is that why we have a lot of those stories of hearing offshore businesses, especially from our uh, business owners in Africa?
I think
Yes, Stella? Hey, Stella?
sorry,
Yes?
but
Okay.
my internet today.
It's okay.
Definitely, that's the reason. And for any business person who's done the research, at the end of the day, your business only makes sense if you're able to leave money in your pocket after doing all the business. Because it doesn't make sense if you do if you have a successful business, but nothing gets left because you're paying taxes, you're paying maybe salaries and everything else, and you're left with nothing. Then you're not doing business. So that's why so many people are beginning to understand global markets and the UAE, for example, because it's the easiest to get into with an African passport or a Kenyan passport. The requirements are very little. Like as long as you have a passport, doesn't matter. Kenya is we have a good reputation here. So as long as you have your passport, you're eligible for an offshore business here. And sometimes when we talk about offshore, people feel like that's illegal. It feels like, am I hiding tax, hiding money?
Mm,
So
yeah, actually,
that's why it's,
that's how I should have actually asked it. I just didn't want to be so direct, but I feel like yeah, most people who when we hear offshore, we feel like it's more of illegal. Someone is trying to hide, probably stolen money, so they want to invest in business that is not. So that probably when they're being followed in terms of corruption issues, there is no trace.
yeah. So there's definitely people who've manipulated the system to work for them like that. But there's a way where you can be like a legal tax resident in the UAE. So it means whatever money you make from the UAE is not taxable, for example, in Kenya, because you did not make it in Kenya.
Oh, okay.
And since the UAE is not asking you for your taxes unless maybe you've reached a certain cap, and in this case it's 15 million, is not asking for your money. It means now you're more focused on scaling your business, growth, and whatever you can do with the profits that you get to keep, rather than having to worry that half is leaving you. So definitely people have manipulated the system, but it's actually supposed to work. It works in a legal way as well.
Okay, interesting. I mean, that's some nice clarity. I always have those misconception about offshore, so it's not just about politicians. It's clear that even normal business entrepreneurs can also invest in offshore businesses and actually do legal businesses, not just for the matter of hiding or trying to do some illegal businesses. So we have another one
Right.
here from Rose. She's asking for people already working in UAE, how do they set up how do they set up a business considering they're working as house managers, have no time to focus on a business and residence at the moment?
Well, I would say
I
when
don't
you
know if
want
it's
to
clear.
get,
Clear can
yeah, I would say whatever you want to do in life, you just have to create time for it. So there's always time for whatever you want to achieve, no matter. I don't know if I'm audible. Yeah,
Yes,
so
you
there's
can
always,
take
yeah,
it.
there's always time for what you want to achieve. If you're asking about maybe the procedures, that's another conversation. But I feel like your issue, Rose, is more of time. But for everything you want to achieve, you create the time for it, one way or the other.
I mean, that's quite clear. Let me check if there is one.
Yeah, and maybe something I can
And in
say,
terms of
there's
the
a whole narrative
having,
where people, Mhm.
there's a whole narrative. Come on, go on.
Where maybe people feel like people who've never been to the UAE or Gulf countries, they would think that everyone who lives here works in a house or is a domestic worker. Not that there is nothing wrong with being that. It's a very it's a huge job here too, but not everyone is doing that kind of job, and there's opportunities. Sometimes most people who do a lot of domestic work are in those jobs because they don't. Nobody has ever told them or shown them that there's so much more that you can do, and you can build yourself. Like today, you can be maybe working in a house manager, like Rose called it, but it doesn't mean that's where you have to be next year. There's
Yeah.
opportunity for all of us. There's so much equality in the UAE.
Hi, Stella. You can hear me? Hello. You went missing a bit. Are you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I
Yeah,
guess
you
with
were saying.
everything that's happening, our internets are unstable.
Oh, it's okay. So you are saying something.
Yeah, so yeah, I was saying there's always opportunity for you to like improve your station in life. Not every African gets to do only blue collar jobs. Well, it's okay to do that, but if that's not where you want to be, scale up. There's that opportunity, there's jobs. You can be whatever you want to be. There's so much equality here. No one's looking at you as, oh, you're African or you're black, so your position is down there. No.
The issue of, for example, someone's get residency. I know for most startups, small businesses wanting to start there there's always the question of, in terms of high cost of living, how can someone go about it when they're just coming to settle in? But now the aspect of a high cost of living, so the aspect of high cost of living, of course, will make some people feel like that's not their market. How do most startups coming to venture into the UAE, especially Dubai, how do they go about it so that they can, they can hack it?
So for most people, especially when you're not very stable with your income and you don't want to burn all your savings trying to make it in the UAE market, you start in phases like I talked about. So you can start by testing the market through marketing, the marketing ads, Google ads, Meta ads. That's more of your topic done. With that, you're either going to get clients or you're going to get feedback. And the UAE estate is a place where it's an online country. There's Wi-Fi every corner. So, and people are social media freaks. So everyone's on social media, everyone online. So if you're running ads, they're going and targeting the UAE is going to be received. And
So I think,
from the lead, yeah,
yes, from there.
from the leads that you get, they're either going to either be a customer or people who are going to help you model your uh, offer, your product or your service to be good for the market.
Oh, okay. So I mean, there's aspect of really testing and piloting before you can really have the oomph of going on and just being sure about the kind of market that you're going to start into. So I
Yeah,
think that's something that is some of us probably might not have known, but at least it's clear. So from my end, I think I can't see any other question. So I don't know if you have any of your punchline, and then we'll close it there. So remember, for those who are viewing or listening, this was our first episode of entering the UAE market. So we're going to have up to 5 episodes. So keep it locked. So maybe your punchline before we go.
yeah, I'd say yeah, it's time for us to open our minds up to want to dominate other markets. And if maybe not, maybe dominate, it feels so aggressive, but we need to start opening up and starting to see what the world has to offer. And like I said, since Dubai gives you such a good starting point, take that advantage. Start learning how you can benefit from it. Start modeling your product and service to serve the global market. And you really can never know how far that's gonna take you. And one something else is content. Like content marketing is becoming so huge, and it's a place to start as well. So content marketing, paid ads, just start. What do we call it? Start modeling your start packaging yourself for the global market because that's how we're gonna make more money. More money is in this market. And so
Right.
Dubai is really something to look out for.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, Dubai has always been very big in terms of content marketing, even how they positioned the location as um, a tours and destination place. And I believe from from anyone who's out there, like they've been able to see this. So I don't think it's something that is even debatable. So thank you so much, Stella, for this amazing session. I know you tried to be very short and brief on this matter, and because also have other upcoming sessions. So for those watching, be on the lookout. You can follow Digitech Today on all our platforms, especially LinkedIn, for more updates. Also follow Stella Wamaitha on LinkedIn. I had put her handle, LinkedIn handle. It's just showing on the screen. So, and you can also be able to connect with her, especially if you're looking towards entering into the Dubai market. She has a lot of knowledge. She's been working there for quite long. Uh, just from Kenya, went there and started. I think next time you should tell us your story a bit on how you got started into Dubai, so that most of us can relate
Definitely.
and how you've been able to grow and become a consultant there. So thank you so much, and we look forward to our next session. Bye bye for today.
Bye.
Bye bye.
The digital landscape is ever evolving, shaping the way we work, learn, and connect. Are you ready to thrive in this dynamic world? We are a passionate community dedicated to bridging the digital dive. Through our comprehensive training programs, we equip businesses and young people with the essential skills they need to succeed in the digital age. Digitech Today fosters a collaborative learning environment, connecting experienced trainers with eager learners from all walks of life. Our impact goes beyond training. We are building a future where everyone has the power to participate in the digital world. Join the movement.